WWE's annual sports entertainment extravaganza, WrestleMania, is upon us, and no coronavirus pandemic can change the fact that there will be outcomes that leave fans rushing to their keyboards, ready to express their anger, disappointment and frustration over the outcome of a particular match. Whether it was because of who went over, what a win means for the characters involved, or what it tells us about the company's creative direction, any given match result can leave fans frothing at the mouth. Ahead of the 36th entry into the annals of WrestleMania history, take a look at these 4 results that would leave fans infuriated should they occur inside the audience-less WWE Performance Center on Saturday or Sunday. John Cena defeats Bray Wyatt in the Firefly Funhouse match. There is no reason whatsoever for John Cena to have come back for a Firefly Funhouse match if the intended result is to have him beat Bray Wyatt again. That particular outcome serves no purpose, helps no one, and does not even tell a particularly interesting story. It would also unleash the wrath of a million keyboard warriors. And rightfully so. They would call into question the booking logic of killing the credibility of one of the few hot acts the company has. The demented equivalent to Fred Rogers and his horrifying alter ego, The Fiend, have captured fans' attention and become one of the few elements of WWE television that is wholly different and entertaining. The creativity, the originality and the execution of the character has worked to perfection. But his loss to Goldberg that saw him drop the Universal Championship at Super Showdown makes his WrestleMania date with Cena that much more significant. A defeat would do for this character exactly what a loss to Cena did 6 years ago: kill his momentum, diminish his legitimacy, and leave fans wondering whether WWE creative will fully get behind this engrossing, captivating character. Once their faith in a character and its evolution is questioned, it is extremely difficult to get them back. When it happens twice, it is essentially impossible. Charlotte Flair defeats Rhea Ripley to win the NXT Women's Championship. 2 years ago in New Orleans, Charlotte Flair dealt Asuka her first loss in 914 days, retaining the SmackDown Women's Championship and beginning a downward spiral for the Empress of Tomorrow that took her from an unbeatable force to an undercard act wallowing in mediocrity. While Flair's match with Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship looks, at least on the surface, like the perfect opportunity to put over the Aussie on the grand stage and firmly establish her as the face of women's wrestling in the future, never underestimate WWE creative's desire to remind fans of Flair's greatness. Spoiler alert, WWE management, we already know. The Queen has been consistently excellent since arriving on the scene in 2015, routinely rising to the occasion and delivering one of the best matches on the WrestleMania card. She does not need another title reign, particularly at the expense of a young star finding herself as champion on NXT every week, to tell us. Of the 4 anger-inducing outcomes on this list, though, this seems like the most realistic. Brock Lesnar defeats Drew McIntyre to retain the WWE Championship. Much like Charlotte's history of winning matches she did not have to, Brock Lesnar has made a career out of smashing, bashing and F5ing fools en route to victories the Beast incarnate most definitely did not need. Look no further than 2018's win over Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania, a show at which the entire quality tanked because of a one-sided ass-kicking that left fans wondering what the point was. This year, Lesnar defends against 2020 Royal Rumble winner Drew McIntyre, and while the Scottish psychopath has benefited exponentially from the WWE Champion's willingness to bump and sell for him, there is still that lingering doubt that Lesnar will put him over Saturday or Sunday night. If not, Lesnar will incur the wrath of the fans who despise the idea of a part-time worker carrying the top prize in the industry while a full-timer like McIntyre, who was building momentum and gaining popularity in the months leading into the match, suffers his most crippling defeat. This entire show has been built around the idea that McIntyre is the one guy who can drop Lesnar with a headbutt, flatten him with future shock and put him away with a claymore. If that does not happen, fans will sour on the already controversial event immediately. Goldberg defeats Braun Strowman to retain the Universal Championship. There is no backstory to Goldberg's defense of the Universal Championship against Braun Strowman. No rhyme or storyline reason for why Roman Reigns was removed from the match. No mention of why he's been replaced by a guy whose WrestleMania highlights include winning the tag team titles with a 10-year-old and fighting Saturday Night Live comedians in a battle royal. Despite doing nothing to earn a shot at the Universal title outside of losing the Intercontinental title to Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber in March, Strowman still enters Mania benefiting from the fact that fans hate the idea of returning icons and part-time workers winning titles that full-time wrestlers compete for every week. A Goldberg win will only fan the flames of the audience's disdain for the company's routine reliance on stars of the past to tell the stories of tomorrow. Vitriol and frustration will spew forth from the fingers of wrestling fans through the keyboards of their cell phones or laptops and onto social media, denouncing the name of Goldberg and damning WWE management to hell should the Hall of Famer manage to kill Strowman's credibility even further.